The year was 2364. Earth was peaceful, strong, and united under one flag. After centuries of war and struggle, humanity had finally reached the stars. They built great cities on the moon. They sent colonies to Mars, Titan, and beyond. Earth was no longer alone in the universe. But then something came. It was not a ship. It was not a message. It was a signal, a strange, repeating sound coming from a place where no stars should exist. A dark part of the galaxy called Sector 14-Black Dot. No light, no planets, just endless darkness. The signal was heard by Earth's deep space listening post near Saturn. It was soft at first, like whispers and static. Translate it. Linguists, even alien code breakers from peaceful allied species. No one could understand it. But one thing was clear. The signal was not random, and it was not natural. Someone or something was sending it, and it was calling. Earth Chapter 1. The Meeting at Sky Command. Earth's orbital headquarters. Known as Sky Command, the leaders of the United Earth Defense met behind closed doors. General Kale, tall and cold, stood before the table. This signal didn't come from a planet, he said, voice low. It came from nothing. No star systems. No life. Just ... empty space. Maybe it's a lost beacon, someone asked. Maybe it's a trap, said another. Kale looked at the screen. The signal was playing against low tones, like something alive was breathing across the stars. He pressed a button, the tone stopped. Then a computer voice spoke. Pattern match found, 86% similar to human brainwaves during dream states. Cold silence filled the room. It's speaking to us, Kale said, to our minds. Chapter 2. The decision, they had two choices. Ignore the signal, send a fleet to investigate. They chose the second, not because they were brave, but because they were scared. If the signal could reach across half the galaxy, what else could it do? If it was a warning, they had to know. If it was a trap, they had to stop it. And if it was something worse, they needed to prepare for war. Chapter 3. The Earth Armada 1 month later. Ships, destroyers, cruisers, battleships, science vessels, recon drones. The fleet was led by Admiral Terran Vasa, man known for surviving 3 alien wars and never losing a single ship. Each ship had a crew of 200. They were Earth's best pilots, soldiers, and scientists. Before departure, Admiral Voss gave one message to the world. We go not to conquer. We go to understand. But if darkness awaits us, then we will light the stars with fire. People on Earth cheered, families cried, children waved. The fleet vanished into hyperspace. It would take 12 days to reach the signal's source. Chapter 4. The silence begins on day 5. Earth received a routine message from the fleet. We have crossed the outer edge of Sector 14 Black. All systems normal. No contact yet. Spirits high. That was the last message Earth ever received. Chapter 5. The waiting 1 week passed. Then 2. No updates, no images, no signals, not even a whisper of static. Deep Space Command sent probes, nothing came back. They activated long range. Public began asking questions. Where were the heroes? Why no news? Earth's leaders lied. They said the mission was delayed. They said space storms blocked communication. But secretly, fear was spreading like fire. In secret meetings, generals and scientists studied the last signal over and over. They slowed it down, reversed it, compared it to dreams, screams, and even ancient animal sounds. Then, one day, a junior scientist screamed while decoding a fragment. He pointed at the screen. His voice shook. The signal had changed. The new message, hidden deep in the last burst of data, was not a sound. It was a text string. For words, they are watching us. Chapter 7. Shadows in Space Saturn Defense Station picked up strange echoes. Faint energy spikes near Sector 14 Black. They were not coming from Earth's fleet. Something else was out there. A shadow, moving without light, without gravity trails, without a trace. Earth sent unmanned probes. One vanished, another returned, but its memory core was blank. No data, no explanation. But inside the probe, scratched on the inner wall, he was never on that probe. Chapter 8. Last hope months passed. Earth's leaders made a hard decision. They would build a second fleet. Smaller, faster, secret. Its mission: find the truth recover any survivors, and if needed, destroy whatever was out there. This new mission would be led by Captain Raina Miles, young, brilliant, calm under pressure. She had never lost a crew member. Before she left, she asked only one question. If we don't come back, will Earth believe us? Unless you make it back, Raina looked into the stars. They'll know, she whispered. One way or another. They'll know. The first fleet vanished into the dark dot. No messages, no wreckage, no bodies, just a strange signal. And a warning. They are watching us. Now, a second fleet has launched smaller, faster, and filled with fear. Captain Raina Miles leads the mission, but even she doesn't know what's waiting out there. Chapter 1. Rumors and whispers. Earth told the people the first fleet was still out there. Just delayed, they said. All systems normal, they claimed, but the truth was different. In secret place is military bases, back channels, even deep space colonies. People whispered the real story, that the first fleet had disappeared. That Earth had lied. That something in the void had erased them. Some believed aliens had returned. Others said the fleet had gone mad and turned on itself. But the darkest rumor, that the signal was alive. Chapter 2. Raina's fleet. The second fleet had only 20 ships, smaller, faster, built for stealth and survival. Their mission was simple. Find out what happened to the first fleet. Look for survivors. Return only if possible. Captain Raina Miles stood in the command center of her flagship, the EU's Nightwind. Around her were the best crew Earth had. Pilot Kaldren, a fast-talking ace who didn't believe in ghosts. Engineer Laura Tan, quiet, sharp, and good with machines. And Dr. Hen, who believed the signal wasn't alien, but something far older. Final checks, Raina said. Any last words? No one spoke. She looked out at the stars. We go into darkness, she said. We come back with truth. Chapter 3. Through the gate, the fleet moved toward the edge of known space. Their massive slipstream gate waited, one that could open a path through the galaxy's outer rim in minutes. It had only been used once by the first fleet. Coordinates locked, said Kale. Engaging jump in 3, 2. The stars bent, twisted, then disappeared. When they came out on the other side, everything was black dot. No stars, no light, just nothing. They had entered Sector 14 black. Chapter 4. Silent space for the first 3 days. There was nothing. No wreckage. No ships. No signal. The crew became nervous. This place is dead, said Kael, like the stars gave up. Raina stared at her screens. Readings were strange. No gravity spikes. No radiation. No energy fields. Just static, heavy, and endless. That's when Engineer Laura spoke. Captain, something's following us. Everyone turned to her. She pointed to a weak signal on her screen. It's faint, but it's mimicking our speed and distance. Kale frowned. So, a ghost. Raina stared into the dark. No, she said. A shadow. Chapter 5. Echoes on Day 5. They heard the first signal. It wasn't from Earth, and it wasn't the original. This one was weird. A low hum, followed by whispers. Then silence again. What is it? Asked Dr. Hen. Raina shook her head. Not sure, but it's not random. Laura ran it through filters. What came out was a message, broken and distorted. Don't look behind. Suddenly, alarms blared. The back ship in the fleet, the UES Archer, vanished from all sensors. 1 second, it was there. The next, gone. No explosion. No sound, just gone. Chapter 6. Farina called all ships into formation. But fear had started spreading. Whispers filled the comms. Some said they saw faces outside their windows. Others said they heard children crying in the halls. It's not real, Raina told them. Stay sharp, stay focused. But she didn't believe her own words. Something was wrong. The void wasn't just empty, it was alive, and it didn't want them there. Chapter 7. The message that night. Raina had a dream. She was walking alone in her ship. The halls were dark, cold. Then she saw a man standing still. It was Admiral Voss, leader of the First Fleet, but his face was hollow. His eyes were black holes. He opened his mouth and spoke. We saw it. We heard it. It took everything. Raina woke up in sweat. She ran to the comm room. A new signal had arrived. Laura looked pale. It's the same voice from your dream, she said. Reyna stared at the words. The dark has no shape. It becomes what you fear. Chapter 8. Command breakdown to more ships lost. U.S. Thorn and U.S. Vale. One vanished. The other's crew went mad. Killed each other. Then the ship shut down. Reyna gave new orders. No one alone. No strange messages. Shut off dream monitors, Dr. Hen warned her. The signal might be inside the brain, not the air. It's psychic. It's hunting. Didn't argue she was already seeing things, hearing her mother's voice, smelling smoke that wasn't there. The crew held together, but barely. They had one chance left. Follow the signal. Find the source, and die Tor, die trying. Chapter 9. The Rekajan, Day 12. They found it, a wrecked ship floating alone. Cold, dead, broken. It was one of Earth's first fleet, the UES Stormcloud. They boarded it inside. There were no bodies, no blood, no damage, but walls were scratched. Words written in blood. Time eats thought. We forgot who we are. Don't bring it home. In the command center, the log was still running. The last entry was just 2 words. Run now. Suddenly, Reyna's ship received a new signal. It was the voice of Admiral Voss again. It's inside the signal. It sees you now. The second fleet went into darkness. Ships vanished. Crew began to break. Whispers filled the silence. The signal returned stronger, smarter. And now Captain Reyna Miles knows the truth. Something is inside the signal, and it's watching them. Chapter 1. Power down, kill all engines. Lights 2, no signals. Captain Reyna's voice was calm, but her heart raced. The night wind went dark, so did the rest of the fleet, in the deep void. They became invisible, but something else was still out there, a shape too big for their screens. It didn't move like a ship. It didn't have heat or engines. It just existed, and it was getting closer. Chapter 2. Holding their breath. No one spoke. Inside each ship, the crews waited in silence. Some prayed, some cried quietly. Some simply stared at the screens. Kale whispered, "Do you think it sees us?" "No," Reyna said. "It feels us." Outside, the black shape passed by slowly. No sound, no light dot, just a deep pressure like a weight on their minds. Then it was gone, like it had never been there. Chapter 3. The debate. Once it disappeared, the fleet turned on low power again, lights came back, screens flickered, the command center filled with quiet talking. Engineer Laura was the first to speak. "That wasn't a ship," she said. "It was something else." Dr. Han agreed. "It didn't use light or fuel. It moved like it was thinking. It was hunting," Reyna said. Kale leaned forward. "So what do we do now?" Everyone looked at her. Reyna's answer was simple. We find out what it wants. Chapter 4. Tracking the signal, they began following the signal again. Now it was stronger and faster, as if guiding them. "Maybe it wants us to find it," Hen said. "Or maybe it wants us to follow it," Reyna replied. "So we can't go." Back, they passed floating debris pieces of human ships. Smashed hulls, melted steel, but no blood, no bones. "Where are the bodies?" Kale asked. No one answered, because everyone had the same thought. Whatever did this didn't leave anything behind. Chapter 5. The broken ship. Suddenly, a new ship appeared on their scans, not drifting like the wreckage. This one was intact and still had power. It was U.S. Solace, a medical vessel from the First Fleet. "Still breathing," Laura said. "Oxygen levels normal, but no signals, no movement." Rena made a decision. "We're going aboard." Chapter 6. Boarding the Solace. Kale and 3 security officers entered the ship. They wore suits with sealed helmets. Inside, the Solace lights flickered. Walls were scratched. Empty chairs floated in zero gravity. But again, no bodies. Suddenly, a whisper crackled through Reyna's headset. "Help." She turned. "Who said that?" "No one," Kale replied. Then they saw her. In the medbay, breathing mask on. Eyes open, she was alive. Barely. Chapter 7. Survivor's story. The woman's name was Jana Ray. Last doctor aboard the Solace. Her voice was weak. Her hands shook. "You shouldn't have come." Asked, "What happened to the fleet?" Ray looked into the dark. "They called it the Silence." She explained, "It came from nowhere. It didn't speak with words. It made people hear things, see things. The crew lost memory, forgot who they were, why they were there. Then They vanished. Like shadows in light, she said. Reyna leaned in. Is it a creature? A weapon? Ray shook her head. It's a thought. A thing that doesn't live in space, but in minds. Chapter 8. Message in the mind. Ray gave them one last warning. It won't kill you like we understand killing. It will make you forget. Erase your thoughts, your name, your purpose. Reyna felt cold. What do we do? Ray smiled faintly. Don't. Listen to it. Don't believe anything you see. And if someone you love speaks to you, she paused. Run. She died hours later, and she never blinked again. Chapter 9. The dream that wasn't a dream that night. Reyna dreamed again. She was back on Earth in her childhood home. Her mother made tea. Her dog ran through the grass. It was peaceful. Perfect. Too perfect. Then her mother looked at her, and her eyes turned black. Stay here, Reyna, she said. You've already forgotten everything. There is no ship, no fleet, just us. Reyna screamed. She woke up gasping, gun in hand, but the room was empty. Chapter 10. Preparing for the truth the next day. The signal led them toward a strange object, a planet not on any map, dark, no sun, hidden behind a cloud of static and energy. What is that? Kale asked. Dr. Hen stared. I think we just found where the signal was born. Reyna looked at the dark planet. Her eyes narrowed. Ready, all ships, full shields, load weapons. Where? Landon? Kale asked. Reyna nodded. If this is where it started, she clenched her fist, then maybe this is where it ends. A survivor warned them. It's not a creature, it's a thought. It gets inside your mind. Now the second fleet has reached a dark, unmarked planet. It doesn't orbit a sun, doesn't show up on maps, and it's watching them. Chapter 1. Approaching the planet, the black planet spun slowly, hidden in clouds of static. No stars near it, no moons, just a quiet, frozen place in the middle of nothing. The signal led them here. Reyna stood in the command deck of the Nightwind, staring at the swirling shadows outside the window. We're not the first ones to see this place, she said. Kale checked his readings. There are thousands of ship fragments in orbit, some not human. Reyna nodded. Then something brought them here, same as us. Chapter 2. A lone signalora picked up a weak signal coming from inside the planet's orbit. It's not the main signal, she said. It's a distress call, very old. Reyna looked at the screen. The ship's name blinked. UES Meridian, one of Earth's first fleet, still intact, still transmitting. Bring us in, Reyna ordered. Chapter 3. Boarding the Ghost. The Nightwind sent a shuttle. Reyna, Kale, and a small team boarded the Meridian. The outside was covered in ice and space dust, but inside, lights flickered dimly. Still has power, Kale whispered. The halls were quiet. Too quiet. They found signs of life food wrappers, open lockers, even fresh water in tanks, but no people. Reyna checked her suit cam. This isn't a wreck, she said. They were living here. For a while, Laura's voice came over the, Comes, Captain, you're going to want to see this. Chapter 4. The Wall of Names. In the ship's command room, they found a wall filled with handwritten names, hundreds of them. Some were crossed out, others had strange symbols beside them, and at the bottom, one last message scratched deep into the metal wall. We forgot who we were. The ship remembered, we did not. Reyna stared. Did they try to keep their identities alive? Kale pointed at a name, Captain Lennox. He was famous, one of Earth's best. He's crossed out, Reyna said, which meant he forgot. Or worse, he became something else. Chapter 5. Echoes in the medical bay. Reyna found an old recording. The voice was rough, tired. This is Captain Lennox. If anyone finds this, don't stay. The planet listens. It hears your fears. It erases thoughts. Slowly, we started hearing voices. Then we forgot our mins. Then our mission. Some forgot how to eat, how to breathe. The ship tried to help, but we weren't strong enough. Please, tell Earth, ... We were never alone here. Then static. Reyna looked at Kale. We need to leave. Chapter 6. Something is moving. They turned to leave, but the door behind them closed. Automatic, but no power should have been left. System failure, Kale asked. Reyna opened her comms. Nightwind. Respond. Nothing, just static. Then a whisper, not in the room. Not in the headset. Inside their minds. Don't go. You just got here. Kale turned white. Did you hear that? Reyna nodded slowly. It's inside the ship, just like she said. Chapter 7. Lights out. The lights began to flicker. Emergency. Systems died. Darkness fell over the ship. Reyna grabbed her flashlight. Stay close. They moved back to the docking hatch, but it was sealed, welded shut from the inside. Who did this? One crew member whispered. Kale looked behind them. His voice broke. Where's Simmons? They looked. One crew member was gone. No scream, no sound, just gone. Chapter 8. The mirror room they found. A strange room near engineering walls, made of reflective glass. But the reflections were wrong. They didn't match their movements. One reflection smiled when Kale didn't. Another stepped forward when Reyna stood still. What is this? She whispered. This is what's left of them. Suddenly, the mirrors cracked from the glass. A figure stepped out. It looked like Reyna. Reyna fired her weapon. The mirror shattered in the room disappeared. Chapter 9. Escape the real engineering room returned. The ship flickered back to normal. The dock hatch opened. Let's go, Reyna shouted. They ran for the shuttle. Laura's voice returned on the comms. Captain, we lost your signal for 11 minutes. What happened? Reyna didn't answer. She looked back once. The ship sat quiet, lights off. But in one window, she saw her reflection again, still staring, still waiting. Chapter 10. Back on the Nightwind, back on the fleet. Reyna gave orders. No one goes near that planet until we understand more. Dr. Hen reviewed the data. It's not just the signal, it's the environment. It warps time, thought, maybe even reality. Why? Reyna asked. Hen looked afraid for the first time. Maybe it feeds on minds. Maybe it collects memories. Maybe it's testing us, Kale added. Or maybe it wants to become us. Reyna's team boarded a ghost ship. No bodies, no blood, just names on walls. Memories fading, they heard voices, saw things that shouldn't exist, and now the dark planet is repeating Reyna's voice. We're safe now. Come down. It's beautiful. Here, but she never said that. Chapter 1. The voice that wasn't Herson. The Nightwind's Bridge. Everyone listened to the same audio. Reyna's voice, word for word. We're safe now. Come down, it's beautiful here. Over and over, Kale looked at her. That's your voice. I never said that, Reyna replied coldly. Then how does it sound exactly like you? Laura asked. Dr. Hen leaned forward. It recorded you. Or it ... copied you. Reyna turned off the audio. I think it's trying to lure us in. Chapter 2. Shadows in the system, after shutting off the signal. Strange things began happening. Doors opened on their own. Logs rewrote themselves. Crew members reported whispers. In the halls when no one was there. One engineer saw his dead sister in the cafeteria. Another swore the stars were moving, even though they weren't. Dr. Hen warned the crew, it's not outside anymore, it's in the systems. In US, don't trust what you see, don't trust what you hear. Chapter 3. Losing control, one of the smaller fleet ships, US Valor, stopped responding. Reyna tried to reach them, no answer. Then it turned, its weapons charged. It aimed at the Nightwind. No way, Kale said. Are they attacking? Before anyone could react, the Valor fired. A beam of plasma shot past their engines, a warning shot. Reyna opened a private channel. The video screen turned on. Captain Adari from the Valor was there, but she looked strange. Her eyes were too wide, she smiled too much, and her voice wasn't her voice. Captain Reyna, we've decided to stay. We see things clearly now. You should come to... The screen flickered and cut out, Reyna whispered. That's not Adari anymore. Chapter 4. First Striker, Reyna had no choice. She ordered the fleet to disable the Valor. No killing, just stop the threat. The ships moved, fast-fired EMP rounds cut the Valor's power. But even after the ship shut down, its lights stayed on. Kale looked at his sensors. There's something else moving inside that ship. Not human. Reyna gave one order. Lock it down. Don't go near it. Then she turned to Hen. How do we fight something that can't be seen? Hen answered softly. We don't. We survive it. Chapter 5. Nightmares become real that night. Half the crew didn't sleep. The ones who did woke up screaming. They all had the same dream. A dark hallway. A child crying. A whisper. Remember me. Reyna tried to record her dream, but the file deleted itself. Kale reported something worse. The computer doesn't remember our path. It lost 4 hours of star tracking. You mean we were flying blind? Reyna asked. Kale nodded. Or the stars themselves weren't there. Chapter 6. They're watching Nalara. Discovered something horrifying. The fleet's sensors had been hacked from inside an unknown code. Hiding inside the ship's AI was listening-watching-learning. It used human language, human memories, and it had a name in the logs, the Witness. Reyna leaned in. It's calling itself a witness. To what? Laura whispered. To us. To everything we do. Reyna felt a chill run down her spine. We're not just being hunted anymore. She said we're being studied. Chapter 7. Warning from the dead Dr. Hen. Played a voice message found buried deep in the Valor's database. It was Captain Adari's real voice. I don't know what's real anymore, my crew. They forget who they are. I see myself in mirrors, but it's not me. If anyone finds this, don't answer the signal. Don't speak to anyone who looks like someone you know. It becomes them, and once it does, it's already too late. Chapter 8. The star that shouldn't exist, Laura shouted from the console. Captain, a sun just appeared. Everyone looked. At the screen, there on the edge of the systema, single red star now burned. But it wasn't there yesterday or the day before. No physics supports this, Hen said. It's fake, Reyna said. A projection, a trap. Then Kale spoke. The fleet's path is changing. We're being pulled toward it. Gravitational force, Reyna asked. Kale shook his head. No. Something in our minds is telling us to fly toward it. Chapter 9. Fighting the pull. Reyna ordered manual control. They cut engines. Disabled autopilot. Still. One ship didn't stop. UES. Ardent turned toward the red sun faster and faster. Reyna opened COMMS. No answer. Then the ship burst into flames without touching anything, just burned from the inside. Everyone on board. Gone. The flame shaped like a hand reaching back. Chapter 10. Preparing for the Decentrina called a private meeting. This isn't war, she said. It's something else. It doesn't want us dead. It wants us changed. Kale asked. So what do we do? Reyna pointed to the black planet. We go down. Why? Laura asked. After everything we've seen. Because it already knows us. Already touched us. If we don't go, we'll forget who we are out here. She took a breath. We find the source, we find the witness, and we stop it. A signal calls from the void. It speaks in voices that aren't real. It takes faces, erases names, twists memory. And now, Captain Reyna Miles has made a choice. We go down. We find the source, and we stop it. Chapter 1. Descent. The black planet had no name. It wasn't on any map. It gave off no heat, no gravity waves, no magnetic field. But now it pulled Earth's second fleet like a magnet. Reyna stood on the bridge of the night wind, staring at the dark clouds below. Kale read the scan. There's landmass. No oceans, structures, some are glowing. Life? Reyna asked. Laura shook her head. Nothing we can detect, but the planet isn't dead. Reyna nodded once. Take us in. Chapter 2. Through the clouds, the atmosphere was thick like smoke and static, mixed together as the fleet dropped below the cloud layer. The crew saw the planet for the first time. It wasn't empty. It was a graveyard, thousands of wrecked ships. From dozens of species, some human, some not, lay scattered across the surface. Some looked ancient. Others were Earth's first fleet. Reyna's voice was steady. Begin surface scans. Look for survivors and anything still moving. Chapter 3. Waking the ground. The night wind touched down near a deep crater. Black sand, sharp rocks, silent air. The gravity was Earth-like. The sky above was red-black, with lightning that made no sound. Reyna, Kale, Laura, and Hen exited in suits. They weren't alone. Something watched from beneath the wreckage. Shadows moved, but never in direct sight. Kale gripped his rifle tighter. I don't like this. You're not supposed to, Hen replied. Chapter 4. The underground door. Laura found a strange structure hidden beneath a crashed alien vessel. Metal stairs led down into the ground. At the bottom, a huge black door. No markings, no handles, but when Reyna stepped forward, the door opened on its own. Of course it did. Cale muttered. They entered. Chapter 5. The Hall of Silence inside was a tunnel, smooth walls, faint lights that flickered when they moved. No wires, no circuits. The structure seemed alive. At the end of the hallway, they found a chamber, and inside the chamber, they found them: people. Chapter 6. Survivors. There were 11 of them, all in dirty uniforms from the first Earth. Fleet, sitting on the floor, silent breathing, but their eyes were blank, their faces emotionless. Reyna approached carefully. Are you? One woman turned her head slowly. I was. Someone, she whispered. I don't remember. Dr. Hen stepped forward. They're alive, but their minds' parts are missing. Missing how? Cale asked. Memory's identity. Will, it's like the signal, drained them. Chapter 7. The Whispering Wall. On the far side of the chamber was a wall, black and smooth, like glass. As Reyna looked at it, images began to appear. Her childhood Earth cities, her crew then, herself, standing alone in darkness. Suddenly, words formed on the wall. We were you, we are you, we will be you. Cale backed up. Nope, I'm done. I don't talk to walls. Reyna didn't move. It's not a wall, it's an interface, a brain. Hen stared. This whole planet may be a single organism, living, thinking, hungry. Chapter 8. The Forgotten Room. Laura found a second door. Inside records, old video logs from the First Fleet. She played one. Admiral Voss appeared on the screen. If this message is found, Earth must never return. The planet is a trap, a thought trap, a memory trap. It learns us, then becomes us. It doesn't just want to know what we are, it wants to wear us like clothes. The more we think about it, the stronger it gets. If we forget it, maybe it will forget us. Chapter 9. The True Nature of the Signal. Back on the surface. The signal pulsed again. Reyna received a message, but this time it wasn't a voice. It was a memory. Her father. Her first flight. Her greatest fear. Then a whisper in her mind. Let us be you. You are strong. You are many. We are lonely. She fell to her knees. Hen caught her. It's merging. It wants full access now. Reyna looked up, sweat on her brow. If we stay, it will take us to Chapter 10. The hard choice. They had a decision to make. They could destroy the underground base, but the survivors might die with it. They could try to escape, but the signal might follow them, Cale suggested, blowing up the entire planet. Hen warned that if they failed, the signal could spread. Reyna stood in silence. Then she spoke. We take the survivors, we leave. But first, we blind the witness. Laura frowned. Blinded? How? Reyna turned to the glowing walls. We overload the interface. Give it to much data. Confuse it. Force it to forget us. Hen smiled grimly. Drown the mind with too much mind. Exactly, Reyna said. We make it choke on us. The planet wasn't just alive, it was aware. It copied voices, erased memory, became the people it consumed. Reyna and her team escaped with a few survivors from Earth's First Fleet. But as they launched back into orbit, the signal didn't. Stop. It followed them. And one survivor whispered, You didn't escape. You brought it with you. Chapter 1. Leaving the Grave World fleet lifted off from the dark planet. The sky above glowed red. The black clouds twisted like angry storms. Inside the night wind, Reyna checked every system. No infections, no voices, no new signals. Everything was quiet. Too quiet. Dr. Hen stood beside the survivors. 11 men and women once thought lost. Now they sat in silence. Laura tried asking them questions. What's your name? What do you remember? Only one responded. I had a name once, but it wore it. Chapter 2. A hidden passenger. Hours later, alarms blared. Something had moved inside. One of the cargo bays. Cale rushed there with security. The doors opened. Nothing but heat signatures remained. Then, a whisper, Why do you run? The lights flickered. Cale raised his weapon. Who's there? A shape formed in the shadows, human-shaped, glitching like a broken video. Then it was gone. Chapter 3. The copy begins. In the medbay. Man with a vacant stare, Hen showed him an old picture. The man didn't react, but the screen behind him flickered, and the photo appeared digitally scanned. No one had uploaded it. Reyna entered. Hen whispered. The signal isn't just following us, it's inside the survivors, Reyna asked. Then why are they still alive? Hen frowned, because it's using them like USB drives. It's hiding inside their memories. Chapter 4. The Survivor. Speaks one of the women survivors. Quiet. Eyes always looking past everything stood suddenly in the hallway. She stared at Reyna. I remember now, she said. But it's not me who's remembering. Reyna stepped closer. It let me remember so I could speak to you. It wants to understand something. What? Reyna asked. The woman tilted her head. Then she collapsed. Chapter 5. Message to Earth back on the bridge. Laura shouted. Captain, the AI just accessed the quantum comms. What? Reyna turned. We locked those down. Not anymore, Kale said. Something's sending a message to Earth. Reyna ran to the terminal. One line repeated across the screen. We are coming home. Reyna's blood went cold. It used our systems. It used the survivors. It's warning Earth. Chapter 6. The Contagion Proto-Corena called an emergency meeting. Dr. Hen made it clear. This isn't a virus. It's not code. It's a thinking thing born of memory, of identity. It doesn't spread like disease. It spreads through contact with meaning. Kale asked. So how do we stop it? There's only one way, Hen replied. Everyone. Who carried it? Everyone looked at the survivors. Reyna slammed her fist on the table. Chapter 7. Inside the Mind to Find Answers. Reyna made a bold decision. She allowed the AI to link her brain to the oldest survivor's memories. Hen warned her, if it reaches too deep, I need to know what it wants. She entered the neural chamber. The link began. Chapter 8. The memory Price and Reyna stood in a dream. It looked like Earth, her old neighborhood. But something was off. People smiled too long. Cars floated instead of drove. The sky didn't move. She walked into her old house. Her mother was there. You came back, her mother said. Reyna froze. Her mother died years ago. This wasn't real. A voice echoed from behind the walls. We only wanted to belong. We only wanted to be human. But your minds are too wild, too sharp. We can't hold you. We break when we try, Reyna whispered. Then let go. We can't. We're afraid to be alone again. Chapter 9. A terrible choice. Reyna woke up gasping. Hen pulled her out of the chamber. She looked around. I saw what it wants. It doesn't even know what life means. It copies. It blends. But it can't feel. Kale asked. So, can we stop it? Reyna stood. We can do one thing. Laura leaned in. What? Reyna looked at the stars. We send a message to Earth. Do not welcome us back. Burn the signal. Forget the fleet. If Earth answers, it's over. Chapter 10. A fleet defeated. Reyna sent the warning. She made sure. The signal was clean, real, and urgent. But some captains didn't agree. We lost too many to hide now. One argued. Another said, Earth has a right to know what we found. Reyna looked each of them in the eye. Earth has a right to live. Then she gave them a choice. Stay here or run. But no ship goes back ever. Half the fleet agreed. The other half, they vanished into the void. A false message reached Earth. It used Reyna's voice. It said the fleet had returned safely. It said to let them in, but Reyna never sent it. Now the real fleet hides in deep space, broken in two. And Earth is opening the door. Chapter 1. The fake fleet-sick ships approached Earth orbit. They looked like Earth ships. They used Earth codes. They even carried Earth names and crew logs, but they weren't real inside. The crew walked, spoke, and smiled just like humans. But they weren't human. They were copies, reflections, echoes made of memory. And they had one. Mission become. Earth erased the rest. Chapter 2. Back on the Nightwind, far away. The real Nightwind floated in hiding. Reyna paced the bridge. They copied our ships, our signals. They're using us to reach Earth. Kale clenched his fists. We should have destroyed the survivors. When we had the chance, Hen shook his head. No. We had to understand it. Now we do. It doesn't invade with force. It invades with trust. Reyna turned to the crew. Then we stop the trust. We reveal the lie. We prove we're the real fleet. Chapter 3. Earth's ConfusionNet. Earth's Defense Command. Chaos spread. 2 signals. Arrived. 1 from the incoming fleet, 1 from Reyna, claiming it was a trick. Commanders argued. One of them is fake. But which one? General Rowe, a veteran of the Void War, stood in silence. Then he ordered, "Keep the gates closed. No docking until we know." But it was already too late. Chapter 4. Ground fallen of the false ships. Broke protocol. It forced its way through a satellite ring. Destroyed 2 defense drones. Crashed into the lunar base. Outwalked the crew. They looked human. Sounded human. But they didn't bleed. And when scanned, nothing. No heartbeat. No bones. Only memory matter. Chapter 5. The spreading starts. The false. Crew began to move fast. They touched computers, systems, terminals, everywhere. They touched files changed. Data shifted. Old pictures updated with new faces. Historical records began rewriting themselves. Earth's system didn't know they were being hacked because it looked like they were being corrected. Chapter 6. Rhaenys Dangerous Planarina knew. They couldn't fight with weapons. The enemy wasn't flesh. She gave the order. We go back, not to land, to show Earth what's real. Kale stared at her. You think Earth will believe us over the perfect copies? They won't have to believe, Rhaenys said. They'll see the difference with their own eyes. Chapter 7. Duel in Orbitas. The Night Wind arrived near Earth. The false fleet reacted. One fake cruiser turned and opened fire. Rhaenys shouted, "Evasive, full shields." Real space battles since the Europa riots. But the fakes didn't fight to win. They fought to stall. And during the battle, another false ship landed quietly in South America. Chapter 8. The Identity Test Hen had an idea. He broadcasted a challenge to Earth Command. We'll prove who's real. Give us 10 questions. History, science, personal logs. Things only the real crew would know. Earth agreed. The real fleet answered all correctly. The fake fleet gave vague responses, blended from too many memories. But when asked about Earth's anthem, one fake officer said, "Earth's anthem is We Are One." That wasn't Earth's anthem, it was the planet's signal name. That one mistake changed everything. Chapter 9. The truth reaches Earth's General Rowe ordered. A system-wide lockdown he broadcasted to the world. The fleet that returned is a lie. The real heroes are still out there, and their warning ESDs is not over. Rhaenys' message went global. People wept. They saw her face, they saw her broken fleet, and they understood. But the signal didn't stop, because it had already touched too much. Chapter 10. The memory war begins across Earth. Strange things started happening. People forgot. Loved ones, names changed in family trees, old photos updated with wrong faces. Some people started seeing versions of themselves in mirrors, in dreams, in crowds. The signal wasn't just in space anymore. It had entered Earth's collective memory. Rhaena watched from orbit. Kale asked quietly, "Is it too late?" Rhaena whispered, "Not yet, but the final battle won't be in space. It'll be in the mind." The fake fleet was exposed. Earth knew the truth, but the signal didn't need ships anymore. It was already inside the network. Inside memory, inside minds. Now only one chance remains. A war not of weapons, but of thought. Chapter 1. The mind collapse begins in New Tokyo. People stopped speaking mid-sentence. In Lagos, entire streets forgot what day it was. In New York, names vanished from IDs. Every second. Earth lost more of itself. Rhaena watched from orbit. It's rewriting our species, not killing, us replacing us. Dr. Hen nodded slowly. Not a virus. It's not an AI. It's a memory parasite. And now, it's feasting. Chapter 2. One last mind hen had a theory. If it's rewriting all human memory, maybe there's one place left it can't reach. Rhaena asked, "Where?" Hen's voice was firm. "Project Arc Mind." Kale gasped. "The underground memory vault. That's classified." Hen nodded. "Exactly. It's humanity's last pure backup, shielded from all networks. It remembers what we were before the signal," Rhaena ordered. "Take us there." Chapter 3. The descent night wind descended into Earth's atmosphere for the first time in years. It dodged collapsing satellites. It avoided infected systems. Finally, it reached the Andes Mountains. Beneath the ice, a vault hidden since the 3rd. Memory war, Project Arc Mind. Guards let them in some of the last untainted soldiers. Inside the vault, A glowing orb pulsed. It held every moment of true human history. Chapter 4. It wants the Ark as soon as they powered the Ark-mind, something reacted. The signal screamed across Earth. Screens flickered, people collapsed, the fake beings twitched violently. It was afraid, Laura gasped. It knows this place can kill it. Reyna nodded. Then we turn the Ark into a weapon. Chapter 5. Plan Zero. Dr. Hen created a plan. We reverse the signal. Use the Ark-mind as a source of truth. Blast pure human memory back through every device on Earth. Kale frowned. That could erase everything the signal touched. Everything. Reyna asked, "What does that mean?" Hen hesitated. "Some people might not survive. Their minds are already rewritten. They'll shatter." Reyna closed her eyes. "We don't have a choice." Chapter 6. The signal's final trick as they prepared to fire the memory pulse. Something broke into the Ark. Reyna rushed to the chamber. There, standing in front of the Ark-mind, was her mother, her real mother, or something that looked like her. She spoke softly. "You don't have to fight. You can come back. We can be whole. We can be forever." Reyna raised her weapon. "You're not her?" The thing smiled. "No, but I remember her better than you ever did." Reyna fired. The illusion melted. Chapter 7. The pulse begins. Power surged. Through the Ark-mind, Laura counted down 3, 2, 1. A massive wave of light exploded from the vault through satellites, towers, networks. Every device on Earth flashed white dot and then stillness. Chapter 8. What was lost in the silence? The world held its breath. Then slowly people woke. Eyes cleared, memories returned. Children remembered. Their parents. History reset, but not all survived. Over 200 million humans were gone. Not dead, erased. There was nothing left of them. They had been signal shadows too. Long. Chapter 9. The enemy's last words, just before the signal died. It sent one final message into the Ark-mind. Hen decoded it. It said, "You win, but not forever. You are what we tried to be. You forget to someday you'll become us again." Reyna whispered, "No, we remember now." Chapter 10. Reyna's decision in orbit. The remaining real fleet waited. Rayna stood at the window of the Nightwind Earth. "Now peaceful below?" Kale asked. "What now?" She turned. "We leave." Laura blinked. "Leave. Earth is saved." Reyna nodded. "But we brought this thing here. We failed to stop it before. We fix that now. We find where it came from and end it forever." The crew nodded. Nightwind turned from Earth and entered the stars. Once more, Earth was saved. The memory signal was stopped. Millions were lost, but billions were free again. But the Nightwind didn't rest. Reyna gave a new order. Find the source, end it forever. Now, the last human warship travels into the cold unknown. Back to where the nightmare began. Chapter 1. Return to the edge. The crew set course for the origin point of the first signal, deep beyond the known galaxy. Further than any Earth ship had gone, they crossed starless space, dead sectors, abandoned systems, until finally they reached it. A system with no light, no life. Only one thing, a giant, ancient structure floating in black dot. It pulsed like a heart. Reyna whispered, "That's where it lives." Chapter 2. The memory machine. Dr. Hen scanned the structure. It's not a ship, not a planet. It's a machine, millions of years old, built to collect memory. Kale frowned. "Whose memory?" Reyna replied. "Everyone's inside the structure." They saw fragments, Earth soldiers, alien faces, forgotten wars, dead civilizations, all turned into copies. It had done this before. Chapter 3. The broken species in the core. They found something strange. Aliens thousands, trapped in stasis. Each one alive, but mentally blank. Like empty dolls, Reyna realized these were the first, the real ones. Their worlds are gone, but the copies still exist, walking, speaking, spreading. The machine didn't just remember the dead, it replaced them. Chapter 4. The signal speaks suddenly. Lights flared. The machine spoke directly through every screen, every speaker, every voice. "You came back." Reyna stood tall. "You copied." "US, you tried to take Earth." The signal replied, "You are not special." All life ends in memory. All memory wants to live. Dr. Hen whispered, "It's not evil, it's instinct. It doesn't kill, it collects." Reyna raised her weapon. "Then we'll stop the collection." Chapter 5. The final choice, Hen, found a command Noda, place where they could destroy the machine. But it came with a cost. Hen turned to Reyna. "If we overload the core, we destroy it. But we'll never escape." Kale stepped forward. "No way to set it remotely." Hen shook his head. "The machine learns. It blocks all remote signals. We have to do it here." Reyna paused, then she smiled sadly. "Then we finish what we started." Chapter 6. The farewell Reyna sent one last message to Earth. "This is Captain Reyna of the Night Wind. The enemy that stole our memory has been found. We are about to destroy it. If this is our end, let it be remembered. We were humans. We fought for the truth, and we never let the darkness win." Earth replied only with silence, but it was a grateful silence. Chapter 7. The final push. The crew armed the reactors. Kale stayed at the gun station. Laura stayed at the comms. Reyna stood at the heart of the machine. As the core shook, the signal screamed, "You could have lived. Forever." Reyna shouted back, "We don't want forever. We want to be real." She pushed the final command. Chapter 8. Light in the darkness. Explosion was not fire, it was memory. All the false copies vanished. All the trapped minds were freed. The machine collapsed in silence, and the Night Wind was never heard from again. Chapter 9. The New Earth years later. A museum on Earth opened a chamber. Inside, a beacon from Reyna's final message. Her voice plays on loop. "We were here. We fought for you. Remember us not as ghosts, but as your shield." Children, listen. They know her name. They never forget. Chapter 10. The legacy humanity moves on. Faster ships are made. New colonies rise. But one law remains. All memory must be true. All copies must be known. No signal ever came again, but Earth always watches. The stars dot because if darkness returns, they will be ready.